G'day, my name's Shane Morris, the fly fisherman, Sydney, Australia, and I've been catching a lot of fish on these little bream lollies. I like to call them bream lollies. They're basically a dubbing Charlie. Really easy to make, really easy to cast on size 6 Tiemco 811S. Yeah, any size thread, this is 3/0 silk. Don't need much of it, doesn't matter what colour it is, you only see the very front once you tie it off, once you cover it in dubbing. But yeah, they're killing it lately, around weed beds, drop-offs, little rock patches. I'd say I haven't tried them on oyster leases, but I dare say they'd kill it. But let's go. I've already tied on the thread. I like to build two little mounds behind and in front of where I'm going to tie the eyes. And then I bring the thread to the middle of those two lumps. Makes it really easy to place your eyes first go every time. I'm using 3mm bead chain. Sinks quite slow, so you can work them in amongst the weed. Put it in the center of those two lumps. Sits there every time. And then you just figure eight it. Build it up a bit because it's bead chain. You only got that little bit of wire in between. I get them straight then. Put a little bit on and then bring it behind. And go to the fair way to the back, and then we'll coat that with glue, and then that makes it a bit more durable. They last a while then. The dubbing actually lasts a while, even fish after fish. So I'll put a little bit of Zappa Gap on, just a little bit, just to hold all that together. Like I said, make it durable. Flatty smash these as well. I've been getting whiting on them. Good whiting actually. Straighten everything up where you're happy. And coating that will make it, last a few fish. Okay, I take some of this UV flash. It's just like a kinky fibre or, yeah, that kind of stuff. It doesn't say what it is. It's just a shrimp colour, but it's pretty standard. You only need a little bit. Give it a little tail out the back like a gotcha. Make the ends uneven. Don't want everything straight. I just wrap that around my thread. Then I can pull it up to wherever I want it and secure it straight away without having to worry about it too much. Leave that there in the middle. Just trim it back a little bit on the angle. We'll trim all that to taper it later. You need one of these. It's a dubbing whirl. Very simple, but this makes the best bodies. Okay, very simple. Make a loop of about 6 inches. You can see it there. Then I tie it back on the body of the fly and bring the thread all the way to where I'm going to tie it off. Grab your dubbing whirl, put it in your loop then. Okay, and you can let it hang, but you don't want to let it go together yet. You want to keep that loop separated. And you just grab your dubbing out, which is a seal's fur dubbing. Natural colours, there's a few brighter green ones in there. More so for trout and all that, but I love it. It gets really fuzzy bodies, makes it look really shrimpy and crabby, little tiny crabs or nippers or something like that. Just grab your dubbing then, and then just wind it up one side of your loop. Okay, I wind it on like opposite. Just try and wind it round your loop. You don't have to go too neat. You don't have to be, super tight on it. You can grab a few different colours. I'm going to put a little bit darker olive green at the back of that one. You wouldn't really tell that much. So I've got about 4 inches of it. Now I'll pull my arm here across to get my thread out of the way. You probably can't see that, doesn't matter. What I do then is put the dubbing up a little bit, grab it at the bottom of the dubbing where I've, twisted it onto, spin the dubbing wheel. You probably can't see it, but you spin it and you hold it, then you let it go. And the two lines wrap together and you get like a nice fibered, fuzzy body. You can just pick at it a little bit, make it a bit more fuzzy. We'll get the thread out of we'll get the arm out of the way now. And then we just wrap a body. You've got to keep your thread out of the way, that's the only thing. Then you start at the back and start to work forward. I like to build it up in the middle a little bit to taper it, give it a buggy body. I reckon these things would catch trout any day of the week. And you go over the eyes like you would any sort of Charlie. Get it in there tight. Figure 8 around the eyes. You can go back then, around the body. Pull that little bit of dubbing back. Go around the body again and then finish it under there. Bring it forward to the eyelet and then just wrap that off. Okay, and pull that back now. Some of the dubbing comes off, but that's what it's supposed to do. Now I can get that round there. I can safely cut that thread off now that was my body. Take the dubbing wheel off now. Be done with that. Alright, just tie that off so it's a bit more secure. Okay, my vise isn't that flash, so I turn this over now and put it in upside down to do the collar. Now he's looking pretty good. I'll trim all this later. I'll get rid of that one because he might get in the way. So then I just grab a bit of possum tail. Bloody animals. I bought it. I didn't kill it. I want to. They eat all my veggies. Anyway, this fur tapers in the water. It's really, really good. It doesn't seem to spread that much. You only need a little bit. And now I'll lay that to the front. I might neaten that up a bit more. Get rid of all those stray fibres. Lay that down just where I want to tie it off. A couple of loose loops to get it neat. Pull it back a little bit and then go tight. Get rid of those couple of fibres now. And then we just want a bit more of that UV shrimp coloured flashy fibre. Only need a tiny little bit again just for the top of the collar. Trim all that up. Make the ends uneven because you don't want everything to be straight and uniform. Wrap it around the thread again. Pull it up to the top of your collar and then just tie it off. Basically that's it. We'll just finish that now. Put a bit of zapper gap on it. Pull it tight. Okay. Pull everything back now. You start to see the shape of it, and that's what exactly the shape it takes in the water. They're amazing. They look so good. Bream is smashing them. I'm getting blackfish on them as well, in amongst the weed beds and the little rock drop-offs. And there you have it. There's your bream lolly, number 6. Really good little fly. You can trim it a bit shorter. They usually trim themselves after fish eat them. But yeah, really good little fly. Easy to cast. I can throw them into a strong southerly. They're no problem. There's no wind resistance, and then they sink really well and they keep their shape and they last a long time. Okay, enjoy. Tight lines.